أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري واشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. For us, God suffices and He's the best disposer of affairs. Ameen. Sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Happy Saturday. Inshallah, everybody's doing good. So we will pick up with the 15th ray on page 620. Explanation of the supreme sign. So today we will continue on with fifthly. Is there anyone? Do you want to share anything about what was covered last time? Any points? Anything we spoke about? Pretty much how things are coming into existence and this creator who's expanding everything, like everything is happening all at once at the same time. Creation is all taking place at once. And so let's start with fifthly. Fifthly, the coming into being of the members of a species which are far from each other. The coming into being of the members of a species which are far from each other, with one in the east, one in the west, one in the north, and one in the south. In the same way, both resembling each other and differing could occur only through the infinite power of one, absolutely knowing and absolutely powerful. Both resembling each other and differing could occur only through the infinite power of one absolutely knowing and absolutely powerful, who governs the whole universe, and through his infinite knowledge, which encompasses all beings together with all their states, thus pointing to an all-encompassing knowledge and testifies to one all-knowing of the unseen. Interesting. And testifies to one all-knowing of the unseen. This last piece is also very interesting because definitely everything that we experience, observe around us, doesn't matter how far we're stretching it to micro level, to macro, macro to micro, throughout the whole vastness of the universe, everything points to an all absolute knowledgeable one and powerful one. Otherwise, how will I explain the existence of anything? So and also the last piece I'm trying to make sense of, and testifies to one all-knowing of the unseen, as in, everything that covers the past, present, and future. But I am the one who's subject to time, but the one that brings about this universe and time into existence for me. by definition cannot be subject to time, hence an all-knowing of the unseen. I'm just going to pause here and check in to see if anybody wants to make a comment here. Okay, so if nobody has any comment to make, then we can move on to sixthly. Sixthly, the creation of a great multitude of living machines in confusing circumstances and dark places. The creation of a great multitude of living machines in confusing circumstances and dark places. For example, seeds under the ground without confusion, despite their similarity, and all being mixed up together in miraculous fashion without neglecting any single one of any sort, together with all their distinguishing features, points as clearly as the sun to pre-eternal knowledge and testifies as brilliantly as daylight to the creativity and dominicality of one absolutely powerful and absolutely knowing. For the details, we refer you to the Risale Nur, and here cut a long story short. Now we begin the question of will, which is in Celestial Philosophy, the summary of the supreme sign. Let me see what this is. So this interesting word that I read, this, I think the supreme sign, the sum and substance in Arabic of the supreme sign, which describes in 33 degrees how all the realms of creation testify to their creator's existence. Oh, interesting. So the text written by the author in Arabic, the supreme sign, that describes in 33 degrees how all the realms of creation testify to their creator's existence and unity, as if we have this whole vast universe to take in as evidence, so to confirm what all of this existence points to. And so it is included in the collection of invocations and supplications called his Anwar al-Haqiqa al-Nuriya, which includes Joshan al-Kabir. Okay, interesting. So the question of will, as in the divine will, like, or the kun fayakun thing that we hear in the Quranic verses, where be and it is. So like right now, all of us are being brought into existence. And so like if we, the sixthly point is really going through like the example of a seed, so many seeds out there, so many produce of various type come out. Even the seeds are so similar yet different and have distinguishing features. I know last time we mentioned something about individual character, personalities, like even creation of everything has its own distinct and unique aspect or feature to it, but everything points to an all absolutely powerful and knowing one. And so let me take a pause here to breathe a little bit, and if somebody wants to add something, por favor, go for it.
Yeah, so let's see, Laura. introducing the topic. We're studying how we're seeing the signs in the universe. All that is pointing to the signs always point to something. And this author in this text is focusing on the all knowledgeable one. So whatever is coming into existence, as like, for example, in the fifthly, you were questioning about the one all knowing of the unseen. And from the gist of the paragraph, what I was getting is every corner of the universe, all sorts of different, you gave examples of fruits, plants, trees, human beings, mountains. Yes, the list goes on and on. There are different sorts of creation that are happening. There are similarities, and of course, there are distinguishing factors, differences, but at each and every stage in space and time factor, they are present in a particular state. And all that can only happen by the one. I mean, you can wonder and question how are they present in that particular state. One can always look into the source and of what they're wondering at. And it shows that the things themselves don't have any quality to themselves to be the way they are. So it can only be someone who is not of the nature of this universe for each and every stage. So we don't know what the next stage would be, but that is why it goes kind of into the divine determining as well. There's the next stage of me, of the human being, of the tree, of the plant, whatever you may have, is unknown to us. It's unseen. So there are, the one who knows each and every state from the beginning to the end. So we don't know if the plant, let's say I sow a seed and the plant comes in. I don't know, then 10 years down the line, somebody may cut that plant or let it, leave it as it is and it grows. So each and every state there must be known by the one who is taking care of it.
All right, thank you.
And sixthly, again, gives the same, how the multitude, and as you said, everywhere, everything is there, is being present, and it's like you can think of them as living machines. For example, the human body can be thought of as a machine, the brain can be thought of as a machine, the plant and the trees can be thought of as a machine, the birds, everything is, there's a living creatures, living beings that are there. Because despite their similarities and all being mixed up together in miraculous fashion, without neglecting any single one of any sort. So together with all their distinguishing features, so all these qualities that are present in those brilliant living creatures, impeccable, perfect qualities, points as clearly as the sun. Yeah, no one can deny that each and everything has qualities. Shows the art, who the artist is. From the art, I can see what kind of artistry is being displayed, and it points to the quality of the one who is the giving all that artistry. And all these are coming as a favor, will, as you said, somebody purposefully intended for all these things, for all this creation to come along and for me to experience. And these are, of course, all signs. That's how we get the light of the one who is displaying and speaking to us. Nur ala nur, light upon light.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, bro, for this nice expression and reflection. Helps make the case clearer and better. Anyone else wants to share anything? Okay. Well, then we shall continue on with the last paragraph here. This piece consists of one long universal proof of divine will, which comprises many of the proofs of will. In a short translation of it, we set out evidence, providing decisively proving, good one. This piece consists of one long universal proof of divine will, which comprises many of the proofs of will. In a short translation of it, we set out evidence proving decisively divine will and choice and volition. All the above evidences for divine knowledge are also evidences for will. Okay, so what's this thing talking about? Which one? Many of the proofs of will. One long universal proof of divine will. What the stop? What one long universal proof of divine will? What is that? I don't know. So this piece consists of one long universal proof of divine will. So this existence that we all experience, so we can extend it like universally, like the universe, the vastness of it, and you and I in it. So that's the universal proof of a divine will. But that divine will comprises many of the proofs of will. Alrighty, I'm not sure, but let's see what he's saying. In a short translation of it, we set out evidence proving decisively divine will and choice and volition. Okay. So pretty much evidence is all around us about this divine will. Okay. All the above evidences for divine knowledge are also evidences for will. Okay, that makes sense. So if there's a blueprint of something that demonstrates some sort of knowledge, and what am I attributing this knowledge to? Not of the nature of this universe, hence I call it divine. Divine knowledge are also evidences for will. So there must be a conscious agent behind all this, right? Alhamdulillah, that wasn't too bad. For the manifestations and works of knowledge and will are apparent together in all creatures. So yeah, so we can all, observe ourselves, the universe, and we can see how various manifestation of knowledge and will are apparent together in all of us. So the meaning of the Arabic piece in brief: everything exists through his will and volition. Volition.
Yeah, that's will.
Another word for will. Gotcha. Everything exists through his will and volition.
Yeah, like divine will, choice, and volition.
Gotcha. Divine choice. What he wills occurs, and what he does not will does not occur. If he did not will it, nothing would occur. A proof is this. Okay, there we go. Let's talk business now. There is some kind of proof. We see that among infinite confused possibilities and various fruitless ways. We see that among infinite confused possibilities and various fruitless ways, amid intervening and mutually opposing elements which flow like floods, causing chaos, in the midst of numerous others resembling themselves, which is the cause of disorder, every creature with its own specific essence. Oh, this is a really long one. Let me start this over again. So whatever I'm seeing around, like infinite confused, like different acts of creation happening, confused possibilities and various fruitless ways. I'm not sure what the fruitless refers to. Maybe
continue reading, but he'll give examples.
Oh, okie. Thank you. All right, so let's continue reading. Amid intervening, it means despite, right? Despite intervening and mutually opposing elements, which flow like floods, causing chaos. in the midst of numerous others resembling themselves, which is the cause of disorder. Every creature with its own specific essence, particular attributes, individual character. Oh yeah, I remember this one last time, individual character and distinctive form is taken with a precise, perfect, regular order. Is taken within a precise, perfect, regular order. All its members and organs are weighed up with a sensitive, exact measure and balance and attached to it. Its mutually opposing members are created living and with extreme art from simple lifeless matter. For example, a human being is created with 100 different organs from a droplet of fluid, and a bird is made with numerous different members and organs from a simple egg, and clothed in a miraculous form, and a tree is drawn out of a tiny seed. Wow, a tree is drawn out of a tiny seed comprising simple, lifeless carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen. I remember chemistry class. Together with its branches and twigs and various members and parts, and dressed in an orderly, fruitful form. Excuse me. This self-evidently, indubitably, decisively, and necessarily proves that all those creatures, together with all their parts and particles, form and nature, are given their particular perfect states through the will, choice, volition, and intention of one possessing absolute power. Oh yeah, that makes total perfect sense. It proves too that everything is governed by an all-embracing will. These single creatures pointing in this indubitable way to divine will shows that all creatures offer testimony to their number with a certainty as clear as the sun at noon to divine will, encompassing all things, and that they comprise numberless proofs of the necessary existence of an all-powerful possessor of will. Very, very interesting. So pretty much what the author is presenting to us here is evidence to prove an all-powerful possessor of will. So seriously, think about like a conscious agent behind the act of creation that we're experiencing here. So we have myriads, or just like he started off, infinite, like proofs out there that we can look into. And yeah, I think inshallah, let's ponder more over this, but you seem to be ready for a discourse.
No, I don't.
Okay, but if you have anything to share. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, the example helps out. Then now the theory up here makes sense with the example.
I mean, this is the continuation of the supreme sign
Mhm.
in a way.
Mhm.
The universe being the evidence and the supreme sign for conscious human beings to look at. And you look at, as you were saying, wow, at the seed becoming a tree, liquid becoming a human being.
That's interesting.
Totally different. I mean, like
That's crazy.
conflicting material, and how
Mm.
how does that happen? It's just pure magic. It's amazing.
It's miraculous.
Yeah, all those little seeds, when it reminds me of the Mubarakatu, we were studying those little grains and seeds and what prospects they can bring. So each and every seed at its stage is taken care of. And that's what the volition and will, however it's meant to be, is determined. There's the one who made it knows it. And each state is also known. And the same proves, as he says, and I think we can verify that if knowledge and will are going together
Mhm.
for something to be in existence, it was willed, and that will shows that somebody must have knowledge of that being in existence.
Mm. Mhm. Thank you very much. That was very nicely said. Anyone else wants to make any comment here? Yeah, alhamdulillah. So pretty self-explanatory text, at least, especially accompanied by examples. That helps out, alhamdulillah. Alrighty, so if nobody has nothing to add, so let's move on. All the evidences for divine knowledge mentioned above are also evidences for divine will, since both function together with power. One cannot be without the other. Just as all the correspondence and conformities between the members of species and sorts of beings indicate that their maker is one and the same, so their features being distinctive and different from each other in wise and purposive fashion indicates definitely that their single maker of unity acts with will and choice. He creates everything with will, choice, volition, and intention. Interesting. So it's almost as if like the various qualities that we observe are packaged within one another, right? Because like the way he's mentioning here, power, because I'm experiencing, oh, wow, this whatever act and whatever constituent parts are involved, like, oh, this is interesting, you know, this adding on something like, oh, this thing, if I add so and so, it makes this very powerful or potent or so on. But then if I, again, within the qualities that I'm interacting with, I'm like, wait, this all points to a conscious knowledge, wisdom, and divine, i.e., all of that is divine will. Because everything is created with will, choice, volition, and intention. Okay, alhamdulillah, that was nicely said, Nursi. That was pretty good. Any comments from anybody? If not, then we can move on to the next paragraph. So page 622, this marks the end of my explanation of the Arabic piece's meaning, which sets forth one universal proof of divine will. I had intended to write many more important points as for the question of divine knowledge, but my brain was exhausted due to the illness I was suffering as a result of being poisoned. So it was postponed to another time. The Arabic piece about divine power. God is most great. Allahu Akbar. Through his power and will, greater than all things. Oh, SubhanAllah, it's amazing. For he is powerful over all things with absolute, all-encompassing power, necessary and intrinsic to his most pure and holy essence. For he is powerful over all things with absolute, all-encompassing power, necessary and intrinsic to his most pure and holy essence. This is an interesting point. Intrinsic to his most pure and holy essence. Yeah, I don't know if anybody has any impressions from this second. For he is powerful over all things with absolute all-encompassing power, necessary and intrinsic to his most pure and holy essence. As if the thing itself is witnessing the 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 most pure and holy essence. I don't know how to phrase this, but anything that we can conclude to be coming from divine will and knowledge, then that itself is, I can witness the pure essence of this divine will. I'm not sure, it's very rough right now, but if anybody wants to add anything here, but it sounded interestingly good. So let's move on. It is, do you have something to say? Okay. It is impossible that the opposite of his power should intervene in it, for it has no degrees. Equal before it are particles and stars, particulars and universal, and the whole, the seed and the tree, the world and man, to the mystery of the observable, utterly perfect order, balance, distinction, and precision, together with the ease in the absolute abundance, speed and intermingling, and through the mysteries of luminosity, transparency, reciprocity, balance. And let me read this again. It is impossible that the opposite of his power should intervene in it. Oh, okay. For like this opposite, I think anything of the nature of this universe has no degrees. It's not equal before it.
What is it?
Which it?
Divine power.
Divine power.
That's what we're talking about here.
Exactly. So the divine power, wait, it is impossible that the divine power is impossible. No, I'm like
So
really.
something else can intervene that is not divine.
Yeah.
But it is impossible.
For
that the
it has no
opposite of-
for divine power has no degrees. Is that what you're saying? Oh, that makes more sense, right? For divine power has no degrees. That's it. Well, I may experience it in a degreeful way. I don't know if that's the word. But anyways, so equal before divine power are particles and stars. What does that mean?
Because it's unlike anything we experience in the
No,
universe.
but be equal before it.
Yeah, because there's no degrees. It's divine, absolute. Or you can say absolute power.
Equal before divine power are particles and stars. Equal.
It's absolute. And
Okay, never mind.
it's not
NVM.
like a weak guy and a strong guy. It's not degrees. That's
Oh, I
something in the
see, I
universe
see, I
we
see.
experience. This guy
Okay.
can lift 10 pounds. This
Oh,
guy
I
can
see
lift
what you
50
mean now.
pounds.
Okay, alhamdulillah. That's good.
Good.
Thank you. That's good. Oh, I see. So like everything, particles and stars, doesn't matter, you name it, anything of the creation of this universe is equal before divine will and power. Okay, wow, this is what is being said in this long little, okay, even the world and man, the seed and the tree, through the mystery of the observable, utterly perfect order, balance, distinction, all these qualities that we experience, and most of the time I don't even attribute it to its rightful owner. So, and precision together with the ease and the absolute abundance, speed and intermingling through the mysteries of luminosity, transparency, reciprocity, balance, order, and obedience, and to the mysteries of the assistance of unity, and through the mysteries of the assistance of unity, through the mysteries of the assistance of unity, to the mysteries of luminosity, transparency, reciprocity, balance, order. What do you understand from all this stuff? Which I'm here on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth sentence. After precision, it's like together with the ease and the absolute abundance. Okay, I understand that part. And speed and intermingling. So everything after intermingling. So, and through the mysteries of luminosity, transparency, reciprocity, balance, order, and obedience, and to the mysteries of the assistance of unity. What's going on now? If
We are assistance of unity.
over here.
Facility of unity, manifestation
Yeah.
of oneness.
Okay, I'm trying to understand what that is.
Which part?
Oh my goodness. This stuff.
Yeah, abundance, and through the mysteries of luminosity, transparency,
Yes. That's all this.
reciprocity,
These are all qualities.
balance, order.
Like so through the mysteries of these, like you were saying, oh, it's
Obedience.
mysterious, right? It's something through the mysteries of all this. Facility of unity and the manifestation of oneness, and through the mysteries of necessity, total detachment, and complete otherness of essence. So pretty much being compared to anything that I'm observing here, and to the mysteries of unrestrictedness, not being bound by space and indivisibility, and through the mysteries of the transformation of obstacles and obstructions into means of facility, and through the mystery of the intuition that the particular, the part, the seed, and man are not inferior as regards art and eloquence to the star, and that the creator of the universal, the whole, the tree, and the world is the creator of the former. And through the mystery of the surroundings and wholes, inevitably being in the grasp of the creator of the things which are surrounded, and the parts like the miniature inscribed beings similar to them, or milked extracted droplets, for they and their likes are included in the former with the balance of his knowledge, or are milked from them in accordance with the principle of his wisdom. And through the mystery of a Quran of dignity inscribed with particles of ether on an atom, or minutest particle not being of less eloquence or wondrous art than a Quran of grandeur, written with the ink of the stars and suns on the page of the heavens. Similarly, through the relation to the power of the universe's creator, similarly through their relation to the power of the universe's creator, the blooming rose not being of less eloquence and art than the star Venus, nor the ant being inferior to the elephant. Oh, that's a big one. It's all equal. Oh my goodness, just reflecting over daily events in life. Look at all the comparisons we make also. I'm sorry, I'm just a little got taken up by this. Nor the microbe inferior to the rhinoceros. Microbe, this is interesting. Nor is the bee inferior to the date palm. Wow. I guess human beings, we do make, definitely we put things in category and we're like, oh yeah, this is much better. But in essence, in its existence, nothing is superior or inferior to anything else created. And I think we need to be more mindful by just these things that we interact with and we observe all around us. So moreover, the extreme ease and speed in the creation of things causes the people of misguidance to confuse formation with self-formation, which necessitates innumerable impossibilities and is a delusion. While it proves to the people of guidance that in relation to the power of the universe's creator, particles in the stars are equal. May his glory be exalted, for there's no God but he. God is most great. Allahu Akbar. So yeah, I think anything like small particle, star, or atom, they all point to the divine knowledge and will of the creator of the universe. So, but if I'm not really trying to seek evidence to conclude the origin of my make, as in every moment we are all being made, then yeah, I'll just say, you know, whatever is available out there, that the atom is just self transforming itself, giving itself existence. I think we hear that a lot now in sciences as well. Transformation, oh, it's just decomposing. Even the word by itself is like, oh, it's happening by itself. So like really, I think we just ought to be more careful in our dealings of anything of the universe. And I will stop here for now and check in to see if everybody's doing okay. Temperature check. So any thoughts from anybody, impressions from anybody? Yeah. Okay. Goodness. I'll end up falling asleep if nobody speaks right now. Let me just let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, I mean, I just shared in what I had to say. And that's about it. I don't know if anyone wants to add anything. If not, then let me just check in to see. We'll just have a few people here. The usuals. So quite ones. Okay, so what we can do is we can then continue with the rest here, if nobody has anything to say. Okay. All right. Yeah, all good, all set. Because we're thinking right now. I know there's a lot to reflect on, but if nobody talks, I'll really fall asleep, and I mean it.
I'm going over this piece.
Please.
It's very important.
It does. So any
I can share my reflections if you would like.
Sure,
Assalamualaikum. I was still reflecting when you were talking and as you were reading the text, and it was comparing, you know, how we can compare like a tiny ant is equal to, you know, like I would say a lion, which is like huge, and a tiny ant, but in the eyes of the creator, they're so equal. But I was also wondering, is it us humans being narrow-minded? But when we look at something like physically, we totally say, you know, wow, that tiny thing has no value or something, for instance, and something huge or would be like more powerful. But at the same time, while observing my little ones, they even have the same mindset sometimes. They're like, oh my God, that little ant, when we had chickens, stepped over the ant or ate the ant. The ant is so weak. And I'm just reflecting, how can we look at those two things the same way? The ant, which is really tiny, or the chicken that's bigger than it, or the lion that's bigger than it. And I guess I'm still reflecting. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but I'm a little confused yet trying to understand it better. That why maybe need further training on that? Why do we instantly, when we look at something, we like, are we judgmental and not yet broad-minded in that sense? And if I come up with something, I will definitely share that again.
Thank you, Asifa, for sharing that, mashallah. That just woke me up because I've been thinking about the same thing. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. Unfortunately, the way the society also shapes us with the system, we always bring education, right? That's what is being zoomed in pretty much, differentiation of things, and we miss the main picture, which is reflecting on the origin or the source of existence of something. And I would say, yes, we are. I mean, at least I can speak for myself. I am being judgmental most of the time with things. And I think it is human nature to judge, but then I think I should catch myself. The training lies in catching myself, like, whoa, how am I judging this? Based on what worldview or perspective am I judging something? And yeah, I think, alhamdulillah, this is the first time just having, this kind of discourse and dialogue amongst ourselves is a first step. And everything brings in messages around us, messengers. So definitely, yeah, interacting with anybody, especially, children, makes a lot of interesting observations, and I think that's what the human being does. But then what do I, or how do I evaluate this observation would be the training we all need, and then the training that we can share in with our little ones. That, yeah, definitely these objects in creation, they're all different colors, shapes, size, and everything. But then, like, if we think of what does it remind us of? Like, I think that's what we should reflect on. It reminds us of, we question what can be, how is it coming into existence? So that should be like the fundamental question. How is it coming into existence? So then that can open up the doors to more enlightenment or possibilities, and getting out of our narrow-mindedness that, oh yeah, that give, the tree, give existence to this, or not give existence, but because of this happened, or something, but like, how is it coming into existence in a way that should, in a thought process that leads to essentially concluding that, from what I observe, nothing of this universe is bringing this something into existence. And so everything, even either I'm talking about an ant or an elephant or a chicken or a bird, it's in its essence, they're all subject to be created and given existence. And I can put myself in that category too, where we're all subject to be given existence. So yeah, so what is that? What should that remind us of is really our source of origin. And so I think, yeah, like you were saying, in my perspective, things may seem different, but again, if I go with the how is it happening, then it should lead me to how everything in creation is equal as far as existence is taking place. So I don't know, like a few times in the halakas, we maybe mention about, like everything in existence is like brother and sisters to each other. So it's not only like siblings, but like anything, like even a bird is our sibling, a tree is our sibling, the rock is our sibling. How? Because it's a different worldview. Because if I question how is it coming into being, then it points me to its existence, which then points to the existence of everything. Alrighty, so Alhamdulillah, I'm all up, but we have 5 minutes. But if there's anyone who wants to chime in, make any comment, let's have a little chat about it, or I don't know. But that was good. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I'm sure everyone else is also reflecting on this.
Yeah, it's a powerful piece actually. So absolute knowledge, that's what the focus was. And we went to the will and now power.
Mm.
Divine knowledge, divine will, divine power. Because these are the three main qualities that are the most apparent,
Mm.
easily distinguishable when we observe a thing that is in existence. It shows that whatever, let's say the sun, whoever makes the sun, however the sun is, shows that somebody knew about it,
Mm.
somebody willed it to be there, and somebody is displaying the power through how the sun is.
Mhm.
Shows that powerful enough and to will it and has knowledge of it.
Thank you.
And that can be with every creation.
Mm.
Each and every creation shows those three major qualities.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Good. That's a very good point too. Like will, knowledge, and power. This is interesting. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Thank you for sharing all this already. So now I see, oh, people are waking up. Look, there's a comment on the chat. I don't know who it is. Let's check this out. Oh, so Farah says, can you go to page 623? I wanted to reread something. Absolutely. 623. There we go. So do you want to reread it? Farah, I don't know which part. Feel free to unmute yourself.
I think I was trying to reflect on the paragraph that starts with the existence of divine power is more certain than the existence of the universe. So that had caught my attention, and I was just wanting to think about it a little bit more.
I don't think we read that piece
Yeah,
yet.
it just,
didn't go.
I was, it had caught my attention and I was trying to relate a little bit, but that's all.
All right, thank you. Yay. That sounds interesting as well. So yeah, the existence of divine power. So I think it will make more sense if we proceed with that paragraph. But I think at this point, we'll just pause it for today because time is up. Inshallah, if you brought in our attention there, then it means that it needs to be unpacked. And inshallah, next Saturday, let's start with a fresh mind, and then, we can further elaborate on it. Just going to check in one last time if anybody wants to make anything, express out. If not, then inshallah, thank you all for coming in, and we will next Saturday at 3 o'clock, we'll meet, continue from this paragraph that Farah brought us in towards, and that's where we needed to also continue on with. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save except that which you've taught us. Indeed, you're all knowledgeable, all wise. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد